Hi there, you are tuned into Beauty and Braids, the podcast where I, Karyne, has conversations about all things relevant to personal growth and development. Just a heads up, I'm unfiltered. You're welcome. Hey everybody. Okay, happy holidays. What I guess I wanted to tell you. But this episode, I'm just going to go right into it. It is to know thyself. To know thyself is to know others. And I say this to say that when we get to know who we are and respect ourselves, like who we are, then we allow ourselves to understand the people around us. Okay, because you're probably looking at the phone like, what's she talking about? She not making no sense. All right, it's just going to get a little deep, okay? So if you think about relationships, friendships, work, co-workers, and things like that, people around you, before you can get into any specific labeling of what the connection is, you have to understand the person itself. And I think a lot of people do not look to understand the person. They just hope the person is who they want the person to be, instead of really allowing the person to just be themselves. And when we are able to be ourselves around other people, we are free. There's no pressure. There's no stress. We like to be around this person because we can be ourselves. And in allowing us to be ourselves, we also allow ourselves to grow authentically, naturally. But when we're around other people who make us feel like we should conform to a certain way, we die, okay? We bury ourselves, we hide ourselves, we mask ourselves, and we suffocate, basically, who we are. So we become disconnected to who we are by pretending we are someone else around people because we are afraid of judgment. And basically we don't approve of ourselves, because if we approved of ourselves, we wouldn't want to be anybody else. So we attract, we're bringing people around us who basically co-sign with how we feel about ourselves. If we reject ourselves subconsciously, we attract people who reject our authentic selves as well. So they kind of highlight and celebrate the person that we're not, rather than the other person. Because if we are who we are, then we'll attract who we are. But if you find people that are coming to you while you're faking it, trust me, they're faking it too. Okay? So it's best, because then you end up mad, like, oh my God, I can't believe this person is this way, and they showing me their true colors, but you're also putting up a front as well. So to know thyself is to know others. To allow yourself to be who you are, you allow yourself to be who you are presently around other people, which is contagious, because then they feel free enough to be themselves, and you grow. You can either grow together or grow apart, but you still grow. But when you're around people who make you feel like you shouldn't be this way or anything like that, it shrinks you and it dims your light. And that is not a way to live, because you become resentful, you become depressed, you become stressed, you have anxiety, you're wondering, oh, did they see that? Oh my God, they're going to judge me. But when you let that go and you start accepting yourself for who you are, you'll attract people who accept you for who you are as well. So now if you go in to understand certain things like that, if you're patient with yourself and you understand what is your love language, that might be another topic that we can go into and dive deep into it. But the love language, like, how do you show love? A lot of people don't even know. until they really sit down. My love language is acts of service. I'm also a Virgo, so acts of service is something that we are. We are the healers of the zodiac. So we do attract a lot of people who need help. And also, we are also depleted. Because if we absorb people who need help, now we need help. So it's like a cycle of finding people who are broken, because now we have taken on the brokenness, and now we continue to attract broken people. But when we allow ourselves to sit back, become a hermit, go into our little caves, do our self-care, work on ourselves, we become better. And then we start attracting better, healed people. We start to shine light, and we don't do the healing. We allow people to heal for themselves, because, as you know, monkey see, monkey do. You know what I'm saying? So, like, how I realized that I wasn't doing much, I guess, self-love was because when I understood what my love language was, I realized how I show up for people in acts of service. I wasn't doing acts of service for myself. And when I started doing acts of service for myself, I started attracting different people who are also doing acts of service for themselves and showing up for themselves. So you attract different people. Of course, you're going to attract everybody, but you're not going to focus on the ones that are not aligned with who you are currently and who you're going to be. So you're just going to, those people are not going to be in your line of vision anymore, because your focus has changed. Your focus has been inward, and anybody who understands how to work on themselves, they also allow you to grow peacefully and respectfully, and they also allow you to set the healthy boundaries. You can tell those things. You become discerned when you start focusing on yourself and taking care of, like, okay, with acts of service, like, to know thyself. Like me, I'm always, how I show up with love is like, how can I help you? How can I help? And stuff like that. And instead, I'm like, wait, have I been helping myself? How have I been showing up for myself? Like, if I have a company, is it failing? Is that because I'm not helping myself? I'm not helping myself. I'm not showing love to myself. I thought showing love is like, Karyne, taking your time, saying no, breathing. And that is because I would tell people, take your time, say no often, but I was saying yes all the time. So I started saying no. I started taking myself out. I started doing things that I wanted to do. I started not waiting for people. Like, I was like, what am I waiting for? Like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm a grown person. So when I started focusing on that and started doing what I wanted other people to do and what I was doing for other people, like they say, oh, I wish I had a me. Well, I am a me. So I started being me to myself, being me, not mean, me to myself. And it's a process because I'm still like, wait, okay. And when you come around people who are not aligned with you, but you realize, okay, this is an experience. I'm still getting to know this person too. And you do hold the power to make yourself happy. You can stress yourself out all you want because you have expectations, or you can remove the expectations and just experience the person for who they are and not putting labels or putting them on a pedestal and then mad when they disappoint you. So instead, choose to have fun, choose to be happy, like choose to be like, oh, okay. Because when you realize that no one is, your possession. You do not own anyone. And you allow people to be free. And you're free. You can do whatever you want. Treat people how you want to be treated. If you don't want somebody to cage you in and tell you what to do, then you shouldn't do that for other people. You should give them the space to be who they are, do what they want, and when they want to be with you, you'll see. You don't have to force it. You don't have to question, do you want to be here? Look, if you have to ask that question, chances are they don't want to be there, and they're doing it to be nice because they're wearing a false mask. They're not in their authentic self. They're scared. They're in their ego or their lower selves. They're not vibrating at a higher level, because if they did, they would be where they want to be. But instead, they're fearful that they can't be honest with a person. And if you cannot be honest with a person, then that's not the person for you. And if you can't be honest with a person, that means you're not honest with yourself. And the one person you should be honest with at all times is yourself. And sometimes most times people have a, huge issue with being honest with themselves, because it's like looking into the mirror and really saying, this is who I am. Like, I need to do better. Because negative self-talk is the worst you can do for yourself. Like, I'm dating, I already told you that. And I'm listening, because I'm trying to be in the present. I'm trying to experience the person. I'm attention. I listen and I pay attention to detail. I'm big at that. Like, if you contradict yourself, I know, you don't have to be like, because when you lie to yourself and you're dishonest with other people as well, you're going to always contradict yourself. You're going to trip up. And if you are patient enough with your dates before you get all intimate and everything like that and get to know the person, they start tripping. They start glitching, okay? Their words, you're like, well, I mean, if you say you are a man's man and you don't mind providing and all this extra stuff, but then later on, weeks later, you're like, she got a job. She had a job and she didn't want to do this, and I had to do this for her. I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't you just say you were like the provider, but then you're mad that somebody wanted you to provide? You're moving in a false, you moving real false right here, so picking up on those things listen, when you're dealing with a Virgo, there's nothing you can say. Like, you can say maybe we're the detectives of the zodiac as well, but we listen. We pay attention to detail, consistency, if you're decisive, all of that stuff. And if it triggers me, then it's something also that I have to pay attention to. But it's also something that I need to see, what am I doing to attract a person like that? What about that person is similar to who I am that we connect? Because it is like, real recognize real, fake recognize fake, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you recognize like. So there's something about that situation. Like, am I being contradictory or, to what I believe and what I'm doing, right? So that's something that I got to work on. But I'm using my relationships as ways to better myself. Not saying I'm trying to change for this person, but I'm trying to change for myself to stop attracting people that I do not want, if that makes sense to you. Like, if I keep getting the same type of people and I'm the common denominator, then I need to see what about these people that I'm not learning from, that I keep attracting, that they keep I seen a quote that said, I'm a woman. Everybody's going to be attracted to me. I'm just saying yes to the wrong ones. Right? Now I got to refocus my vision, my focus. The funny thing is, it's getting better, right? It's still a work in progress because I got to know there's steps to finding, okay, what you want, what you don't want. And it's an amazing process because I'm in the now. Because if I'm just going with by the fly and be like, well, no, I want this type of person. Yeah, but what about that person is about me? You attract who you are. To know thyself is to know others. People arguing with people, be like, look, it's kind of like you arguing with yourself. If you feel like somebody is hard-headed, maybe you are hard-headed. And usually if you're both arguing, that's because both of y'all aren't listening. Because for me, I'm not arguing with anybody. I heard you and I'm walking away. If you don't choose to have an adult, mature conversation with me, that is fine. I'm not going to scream at the top of my lungs. I'm not going to make a scene. I'm not dealing with that. That's energy wasted. Like, what am I going to do? I can just focus that energy on pouring to my creativity, my endeavors, my creative endeavors, my work. That's how I do. Like, I'd be like, all right, let me just pour into myself, and I just do work on myself. Like, how can I be a better person? How can I be better in my budgeting, better in health, better in this? And when I start doing that, I'm focusing on myself, showing myself the love that I would have shown someone else, and I become better and I attract better. But you can't expect better when you're still at your worst. You're looking for a codependent situation when you're looking for someone to come save you. You have to save yourself. No one knows your problems but you. No one has been in your shoes but you. You can speak to God. You can pray, meditate, read your self-help books. Books is really good. Podcasts. Mindset is an amazing podcast to listen to. You can also listen to Minds, but I'm not operating in my ego. I'm trying to let you know what has been helping me, and Mindset and That's So Retrograde are two of the podcasts that I listen to, and they're on point. Like, it's just a good listen. Well, Mindset is a really good listen, and Girl Boss Radio by Sophie Amoroso. But oh my God. So when I tell you again, to know thyself is to know others. Love yourself as you love your neighbors. Love your neighbors as you love yourself. You have to know how you love yourself in order to love others properly. You have to know what is love to you. Not everybody is going to love the same. And you have to understand other people's love languages, because you could be missing it. Like, you can say, oh, this person don't love me because their love language does not play out with your love language. They can probably give you gifts and you're like, they just give me gifts. They don't love me, but that's probably their love language. So if you want to show them you love them, you give them gifts as well. And in your way of love language, you let them know what your love language is so they can show up, because they might not know, because they're loving you how they know how to love. And I've learned that not everybody has that experience. Not everybody's going to love the same way. Not everybody's going to want to touch you, because that's not their love language. There's the love language of touch. I like touch, but I don't like that much touch, right? Like, so like, it just depends. It's just like lower in my thing. So, it's just like, be thoughtful with everything. Like, I don't know if acts of service is just paying attention to the details, getting to know me, getting to know the people around you, getting to know what they appreciate, what they need. Get them something useful. Do something useful. Don't just do something because you felt like, oh, I would like to do that for me. It's not about you. It's about the other person. And I think that is where we get it confused. We make it personal. And we got to remember, it's not about you. It's about the other person. Okay, so that's just my thing. It's a short little spiel that I wanted to talk about. But to know thyself is to know others. And we make a better world. We do a little bit better and spread a little bit of good joy around these holidays. When we just put other people, I'm not saying put people first before you. Okay, I'm saying when you're trying to do something for someone genuinely and authentically, keep them in mind and not you or what it does for you. Just do it for them. But also remember to take the time to do something for yourself. In that case, I want y'all to have a happy holiday. You will hear from me next week. And then, oh my God, it's next week and then one more week. And then it is a whole new year. A whole new year. Oh, baby. I don't know the words. I was trying to freestyle, but it didn't work out that way. But you still love me, and I still love you. Bye. Thank you again for listening to Beauty and Braids. I'm your girl Karyne, and this has been another great day. Until next time, you'll hear from me then. In the meantime, please follow me on @HairByKaryne, @ShopBraidAppeal, and @YTC Nonprofit. Get to know me a little bit better. Check them out. Bye.